Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head down to Bristol once again and we're going to do another visit to Moor Beer Company. So this is a beer that was in Market Hall Wines in Durham and it just kind of caught my eye. So it's called the Italia hop, it comes in at 4.1%, it's an IPA and it's brewed, as the name suggests, using Italian hops. Apparently the Italian hop in this one is a nugget variety that's been cultivated by the Italian Hops Company. Now, of course, something you just don't see very often is Italian hops, and you know, there's a lot of countries like Slovenia, Austria, Poland, Australia, New Zealand. All of these different countries are experimenting with different hops and things now. There's even a hop farm in Sweden that's starting to kind of play around with different varieties and stuff like that, so there's some really exciting stuff to go on. So this was just a beer I thought would be really interesting to review for you guys here on the channel. So as always, I hope you guys enjoy my take on this one, and we do know that Moor produce some pretty damn good stuff. So yeah, so anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, of course, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Moor Beer before. No doubt there will be some more in the near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel, of course, has a geography-based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, prefecture, county, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the English beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. Always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you guys show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about the Moor Beer Company then. So as I've told you before, the Moor Beer Company are based in Bristol, and they were taken over in 2007 by Californian Justin Hawk and his wife Mary Ann. So the company is named after the levels in Moor area of Somerset where the company originated, but Justin has a military background and he learned to brew in 1995 when he was in San Francisco after returning to the US from living in Germany after being in the army. But he says that he likes to take the kind of German naturally hazy philosophy to the beers and then combine it with that sort of US flavour forward approach. But they moved to central Bristol in 2014 to a premises just behind the Temple Meads railway station, and this is where they also have their tap room and shop as well. It's somewhere that I do need to get down and visit at some point in the future. But they've got a few different series of beers. This is their Session Pales, the Session Ambers, the Full Flavoured series, the Dark Side series, and they've also got various limited editions as well. I'm not sure exactly what one this fits into. I would guess that it's the limited edition ones, just because it's, you know, it's not a beer that you'll come across all that often. It is a fairly new release, like I said, but yeah, that's all you really need to know about the brewery. They're very prolific, they do some really good stuff. Probably my favourite beer I've had from these guys so far was the Ray of Light, which I'm sure was a Mosaic and Nelson Sauvin that they put in that one, and it was just a really nice IPA that they released for the last Star Wars film. But that was really good, and if you can still get a hold of that, and they're still producing fresh batches of it, of course, I do recommend that you have a go at that one. But yeah, take a look at the brewery website and the Facebook and stuff in the description below, and you can learn a little bit more about Moor Beer if you want. But Bristol is a really good beer city these days, and there's a lot of different breweries kind of popping up there. So yeah, let's actually get on to the tasting of this beer itself then. So I'll just let you have a little quick look at the artwork of this one before we open up. The typical Moor Beer style of artwork there. There you can see Sardinia and Sicily. Oh wait, no, that's Corsica at the top, then Sardinia, and then you can see Sicily at the bottom down there, and you can see the Italian boot. But yeah, nicely presented. It just says on the back, doesn't actually tell you much about the beer, but when I did a little bit of research on this one, it said that it's an Italian variety of nugget that they've put into this one, and nugget's supposed to give you this, from what I remember, it gives you this kind of nice kind of herbal quality. But we'll see how we get on with this one. I think this is just meant to be a kind of typical session pale ale at 4.1%. It's not going to be one, I think, that kind of blows your head off with IBUs or malts or booze or anything like that. But we'll just see how we get on. As I say, Moor are pretty good at producing some of these pale ales, and I think probably for my next Moor Beer review I really need to do something that's on the darker side of things, because I think it's 3 or 4 pale ales that I've reviewed from these guys now, and it's been a little while since I reviewed the Ray of Light for you actually. But yeah, as you can see, and as you would expect from one of these kind of pale ales, it's poured a really bright yellow colour. There's a solid finger and a bit of a frothy, I would say perfect white head on this one. In fact, maybe a little touch creamy actually. 1 or 2 big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, and a few little ones just heading up towards the bottom of that head there. If I put my fingers behind the glass, you can see there's very little transparency to this beer. It is pretty much opaque. So let's take a closer look at the aroma then and just see how we get on. Yeah. So in terms of the aroma then with this one, it's definitely, yeah, there's a good little bit of earthy and herbal quality coming out of the hops here. There's maybe a little bit of a kind of orangey tangerine thing coming out of this beer, but definitely it's really herbal and really quite earthy as well. Nice little bit of a kind of floral, grassy note as well, but really the herbal and earthy notes are kind of coming out of this one, and that is typically what you expect of a nugget hop. But I can't remember if the American or English variety of nugget, I forget which country nugget's from originally, I think it might be America, but it definitely, I don't think the original one had that kind of fruity quality to it, which is quite interesting. I mean, you do get differences between the American Cascade and the New Zealand Cascade, right enough. So that is one thing to keep an eye on. But yeah, definitely has that nice kind of herbal, earthy quality to it, this beer. You can smell a little bit of the malts in there as well. There is a little bit of a kind of bready quality to the beer. Maybe a little bit of biscuit or something like that. But the herbal kind of vegetal thing, especially when you sugar this beer up, it does smell like you're kind of food recycling a little bit. The aroma on this one, I would say, when you sugar the beer up, really isn't all that pleasant. Yeah, it's definitely got a little bit of that kind of rotting vegetable kind of smell to it when you sugar it up, which is quite interesting. So yeah, just pay a little bit of attention to that and see. That's maybe it's. I did have one of the Omnipollo beers, one of these the ice cream series ones where it was like that, and it smelled like the thing. And maybe they used the nugget hop in that as well. But I'm sure that kind of rotting vegetable kind of thing is really kind of weird with the nugget hop. But yeah, just sugar the beer up and take a smell of it for yourself. It's quite funny actually, because normally you wouldn't think of drinking something that smells like that. But yeah, just take a little bit of time and enjoy the aroma. When you let it settle, it does actually smell quite pleasant, but when you sugar it up, it is a little bit strange. So yeah, let's have a taste of this beer then. So this one is the Italia hop, using Italian nugget hops from Italy at 4.1% from Moor Brewing Company down in Bristol. Let's get stuck in. Slange Skull, thank you to the guys at Market Hall Wines in Durham for the recommendation again. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. What I would say, compared to the other beer, I mean, compared to the Real Light, this beer is not on the same level. But then again, you wouldn't expect it to be. It's meant to just be a session pale ale to kind of showcase the hops. I guess it's something they've maybe just kind of done for the novelty. But in terms of the beers that Moor Beer can do, it's probably not up there with the kind of ones that are going to blow your head off. But I don't think it's intended to be, in fairness. But yeah, nice. So the malt base in this one, it's fairly straight up, you know, a little bit of bready quality, that kind of pale ale wheaty malt just blankets the middle of your palate. In the middle of your tongue, there's a little bit of a kind of biscuity note to it. You can feel that the graininess just starts to push its way out as you go further and further into the aftertaste of the beer. But as you'd expect with a pale ale, the focus is a little bit more on the hops. In the back corners of the palate, there's that earthiness there, and as you come further forward along the sides of the tongue, you can feel there's a little bit of the... you can definitely feel there's that little bit of herbal quality there, and it moves forward just to be a little bit more floral and grassy around the very front curve of the palate too. If you just go behind the front curve of the tongue, that's when you get that little oily bubble, where some of those kind of fruity esters start to come out of the beer. And yeah, I mean, for this one, it's a straight up, you know, it is a kind of just a sort of grassy, lemongrassy kind of citrus. Not quite lemongrass actually, it's just that sort of lemony, typical kind of grassy citrus character that's coming out of this beer. As I say, you know, the whole point of this beer, I think, is just to be a kind of novelty, to let you have a go at some of these kind of Italian hops. And there are beers in Sweden. There is a beer in Sweden, I forget, it's the local hops by... it's not Bjorogårdens, Gordon's, it's one of the local breweries in Skåne that they do these kind of different things. It's one of the farm breweries in Skåne. The name's gone out of my head now, but they do something similar for the different Swedish hop varieties. So it is cool to see that they are trying to promote different countries as hop producers, and it will be cool to see how Italy goes forward when it comes to producing hops, because Slovenia, of course, has made great strides in that in recent times. They've got a lot of different high alpha acid hops, even some of the places in England now, they're starting to try and play with the high alpha acid hops as well. The Mandarina Bavaria hop, of course, is another big one that's kind of come out of Germany. So even the established beer countries are starting to play around with these a little bit. So it's exciting times. In this beer, as I say, I think it's just meant to showcase. It's a fairly nice straight up pale ale, if you like. If you like the sort of earthy herbal kind of quality to your pale ales, then I think this is one that you're going to enjoy. And I tell you something, as I was saying, the aroma is a bit strange to it, but the flavour does come across pretty nicely, so don't worry about that if you're going to try this beer. But the thing is, it's nice and light and drinkable, and it does have that kind of typical mouthfeel that you expect of the Moor beers. It's got that nice sessionability and smoothness to it. In terms of the mouthfeel then, I would say it's mid-bodied, carbonation is fairly moderate on this one. Overall the mouthfeel is fairly smooth. It does have a little oily touch to it. Good little bit of hoppy bitterness. It's not going to blow your head off in terms of IBUs. Malt base is mainly smooth, and there's a little bit of fruity character to this one as well. But overall, it's pretty much a straight up session pale ale, this one. It's just meant to showcase these Italian hops, and it does it pretty well, I have to say. So it's more a novelty beer, this one, rather than being one of the Moor ones that is kind of, you know, going to blow your socks off. And that's fine. That's what they wanted to do with this beer, I think. So yeah, if you're interested in some Italian hops, or if you like your pale ales to be nice and kind of herbal and slightly earthy, then this is one that I think you'll enjoy. So have a go at it and see what you think. So yeah, I think that's a good place to kind of sign off on this one. So this was the Italia hop, a session pale ale at 4.1% using Italian nugget hops from Moor Beer down in Bristol in England. A really good beer city these days, a lot of good stuff coming out of there, and this is one of their more kind of unusual beers, I guess, that they've produced in recent times. So take a look at it for yourself and see what you think. I'm glad that I was able to review this one for you on the channel. So yeah, it's been really cool to return to Moor Beer, and I'm sure I'll review some more from them in the fairly near future. But once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Check out my social media. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Moor Beer as well. I'm sure I'll review some more from them fairly soon, because they're always putting out lots of different things. Like I said, really prolific brewery. But thank you again for watching, and I will catch you guys very soon. The Italia hop, Italian session pale ale at 4.1% using Italian nugget hops from Moor Beer down in Bristol. Slange you now, and I will catch you guys very soon. Cheers.